Hi guys, such Kremp here, and I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Shotzzy has again raised the possibility of turning on the streams for the practice that OpTic Texas are currently having, but if it's not going so well, they will likely not necessarily want to publicise it, but also Scrappy revealing what Shotzzy had to say back in January on the other teams not trying, and the importance of content may still carry some weight, despite the fact that he's been getting canned for it over the last month or so with OpTic Texas struggles. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. A couple of things to get into before we start out the video. We're going to begin here actually with Mr. BenJ Nassim. Now I'm not going to play the clip, I'm not sure if this is like, you know, the footage of the Sidemen FC charity matches copyright or whatever, but BenJ was watching this on stream, and you guys probably know a couple of days ago there's a bit of drama going down with Ben and the guys on the flank, and I don't really know where this is as of today. I know that Octane was on stream a couple of days ago saying that, look, Ben effectively came out on stream, called out some of his co-hosts, and Ben's point was basically that at this point in the season he would like the show and maybe the watch party to some degree to be slightly more analytical, for them to dive into things in greater detail, and Ben often gets clowned, and sometimes it's, you know, maybe justified and sometimes it's not, as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, I think Ben unfortunately is a bit of an easy target for some of the guys on there at times. And initially Octane was saying, look, he's defended BenJ, then BenJ kind of came out and criticised some of the co-hosts. We know, well, if you guys will probably know if you've been watching ZooMaa's stream over the last few days, that BenJ called ZooMaa's chat at times sheep following Ben, and then there's been lots of, you know, sheep emojis in ZooMaa's chat and various other things, to say the very least. So it's all been going on the last couple of days. I don't really know if this is going to go anywhere, but there's been just a few flare-ups over the last few months, hasn't there, right? Like BenJ getting into it a little bit with, you know, not necessarily with ZooMaa. They've been friends for years. I don't really expect that to change, but still, with other members of the flank, right, kind of Ben saying that the other guys aren't maybe putting in as much effort as maybe he might want to see. There's been lots of fans saying, look, Ben should just step into the producer role, maybe not be a host of the show at this point. Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, we'll see how it goes. I want these guys to all get along, but equally a little bit of drama and spice in the scene, never going to complain about that. And BenJ was talking about saying, okay, maybe he steps out for some of the watch parties, but then on the Sunday he was back in the watch party again, and I'm not sure he necessarily gave the apology to Octane that he wanted. So it's kind of all been going on. I don't know what the next steps are on this, but I just wanted to share it for you guys to kind of keep you guys updated over the last few days, because, yeah, BenJ's been doing some tweets. Other people have been doing some tweets as well. Now, this was a big development last night in the Rainbow Six side, and I just wanted to kind of share it as something that potentially could happen in the COD world as well, and that's regarding the Falcons, right? So the Falcons in COD, the less said about their team, possibly the better. But in Rainbow Six, they had, I believe, a Saudi team that was doing okay, respectable, but they weren't at the level that they're trying to be at. So yesterday, Falcons announced the signing. I think they were formerly maybe Team BDS or something, but they've effectively picked up maybe the second best team in Rainbow Six right now. So one of the best rosters. Falcons have just gone out and said, you know what, we're just going to sign you and bring you onto the organization. So this is pretty interesting, right? Because in the Rainbow Six side, they've decided, okay, we're going to invest the money and we're going to build a great team. Not even build, just straight up buy a great team. In COD, seems to be, like, for now anyway, the only esport where they seem satisfied to just be absolutely bottom of the barrel for now. But of course, that's never going to last forever. This season, bit of a project team, sure. Maybe they can find a piece or two to take forward into future rosters. Or maybe they don't, and they decide, all right, you know, we're just going to go and sign someone. And I think that's when the question for me gets very interesting around what it might look like next year. There's been lots of talk about this lately, and the fact that they're now doing it in Rainbow Six is raising the questions on, okay, after this season, who's a free agent, and even if somebody is not a free agent, could Falcons go and get them? We know that FaZe and OpTic and Thieves, every time they've won the World Championship over the last few years, it's been kind of like one each over the last couple of seasons, maybe New York as well, they have been asked by their organization to take a pay cut. And this is now a pretty standard thing in COD Esports. You win the World Championship and you say, all right, guys, we know you want a team together again. We can't really afford all the money that we put into forming this squad that we thought was capable of winning the World Championship. Can you take less money? Now, at that time, what if Falcons go along and they say, you know what, HyDra, like, we would like you to play for us? Now, I think there's plenty of players in that type of position. They will value the winning over necessarily the money they could accrue from playing on Falcons. But equally, what if Falcons have so much money that they just form a team that can win. At that point, then it's a question, isn't it? Because if you're HyDra and you're getting offered to go to Falcons, just hypothetically, but also they say, well, we're going to sign Shotzzy, then, you know, it's a bit of a different proposition. And other people are going to say that Shotzzy leaving OpTic is never going to happen, but, like, you've got to be, you know, real and remember here that OpTic leaving, or Shotzzy leaving OpTic was actually going to happen a couple of years ago before Scump then unretired going into MW2. Shotzzy had the offer from FaZe, he was very tempted to take it. Scump then came back, he decided to stick it out. And I don't think Shotzzy wants to leave OpTic. I don't think OpTic can really afford to let Shotzzy go on some level in terms of the importance to the brands. But Shotzzy wants to win at the end of the day, and if his organisation isn't doing that, then he will consider, at the very least, opportunities elsewhere. Whether that's FaZe, I mean, people have even talked about Thieves as an option. I mean, I don't really buy it, but I mean, people are saying, well, what if you upgraded Envoy to Shotzzy or something? And I mean, like, you know, it's got to be something that they consider, especially if Shotzzy and OpTic have a horrific time for the rest of the season. He will be getting some DMs at the very least. He may decide that OpTic's his home and he doesn't want to go anywhere, but you know, I wouldn't count the Warlord out just yet. On some level, OpTic need to turn it around to keep on a Shotzzy. That's my take, but you guys may disagree. This I thought was pretty interesting, looking at the 3 SMGs that have made the highest total Grand Finals KD in COD history, minimum 10 appearances, and these names should be no real surprise, but Shotzzy's here with a 7-6 win-loss in finals, a 1.05 overall KD in finals, a 55% map win-loss. Simp is kind of the remarkable one, right? Because, you know, he's got a 1.03 in finals, but his win-loss in finals as yet is not quite where it needs to be, whereas Scump's is pretty insane. I mean, he's averaging a 1.1 in finals. I say averaging as if he's still competing, but, you know, 31 finals wins, 12 finals losses, and map win-loss as well, very impressive compared to the others. So, you know, just thought it was something to share, really, about the way that COD history has been in the past, and, well, isn't necessarily going so swimmingly for OpTic as it stands. But a couple of interesting clips to share. There's definitely talk from Shotzzy about whether the streams could go on again. And this has been a big talking point lately, because Shotzzy, you know, he wants to stream them to some degree, because on some level he has to kind of back up his talk from January, right? Like, at the end of the day, Shotzzy was giving it large back in January to all the other teams and was talking about how, well, good luck effectively washing dishes and putting the fries in the bag in a couple of years, the other pros, if you're not going to make the content. Now, the other teams don't necessarily want to stream their practice because they don't think there's anything necessarily to gain from it. So they may only get roasted and stuff like this as well. And OpTic are now kind of in this position, right? I think that's the tricky thing for them, is that we could have seen this coming. When OpTic streamed their scrims a while ago, they were doing very well. And look, one might argue that, hey, there was a correlation. When they were streaming their practice, they were doing better than they are today. Maybe the need to turn the streams on again might hold them more accountable, who knows. But equally, is there anything really to gain from OpTic turning the streams on, Kenny having a bad map here or there, or maybe every map, who knows, and then people roasting him, it's all over Twitter, it's all over Reddit? Probably not a good idea, but equally, if Shotzzy's going to back up his talk from January to say that, like, this is what it's going to take to save the league, because Shotzzy was seemingly of a mind that if we don't stream scrims, the league is going to be cooked at some point, and Shotzzy was, you know, I was absolutely 100% behind Shotzzy in that endeavour, let's say. But now that it's kind of inconvenient for OpTic, given their current circumstances, now he's not doing it, right? Which I would be probably doing the same, but you can understand why people are going to clown him for this. So, especially when these were the tweets, right? This is a selection of tweets. I mean, it's like, what a time. I still don't really understand why he crashed out like this, but let's just go through the tweets, because he said, most teams study breakoffs more than playing efficient. These guys are idiots. Oh, we lost the breakoff, you know, let's play for kills. Players getting pay cuts every year and wonder why. Effing clowns, most of you guys don't do anything besides collect a check. 8s don't help this and that. S&D 8s won me champs in every tournament that I've ever won. Another excuse of not playing the game. Lazy ... Gonna chill now, but yo, at most CDL pros put the fries in the bag in a couple of years, thank you. So yeah, ... on that one. An excellent series of tweets from Shotzzy, and yeah, absolute crash out. I don't really know why it happened, and I still don't really fully understand it, and well, fast forward to the present day, and a lot of this stuff has not aged especially well. But was he wrong? Not necessarily, right? Like, okay, obviously now it doesn't look great, but was he wrong? No, not really. I think that he made a lot of fair points. It's just unfortunately OpTic now fall into the category of teams that don't look especially wise with the way to currently play the game. But this is what Scrappy had to say, because he was trying to get some 8s in last night, and you know, there've been a few series of 8s over the last few days. but the players don't seem to be so keen about it, right? I do still find this tweet about the 8s very interesting just because, you know, we know that Kenny, for example, he's not a big fan of playing 8. He doesn't really like it. He has done on occasion, but he doesn't really think that it helps him much. And, okay, fair enough. But also, what else is going on, right? Like, people really just want to know, have some idea. Okay, like, look, Kenny, it's fine. You're not playing 8s. Like, Pred, if they're not playing 8s, okay, sure. But, you know, what are they doing? What are they playing? Are they doing another set of scrims on the day? Are they watching a bit of VOD? Are they doing this, doing that? Because Shotzzy was of the opinion we saw the other day that actually OpTic aren't focusing enough on their mistakes. Maybe they need to learn more about the game than they presently understand. Who knows? The bottom line is, are the pros pretty lazy? Sure. And Scrappy says, you know what? Shotzzy was right on this one.
So streaming scrims is actually a good question. I actually do. I definitely want to stream scrims for sure. I think it's just a weird period right now with, like, you know, our team. So that's kind of like the real reason I've really been streaming scrims, but ideally in the future, I still want to stream scrims. But obviously the circumstances that we're in, like, I feel like it's only right to not stream scrims. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you guys could understand.
Chad, 8s is chalked. 8s is chalked. No one's down. I said GG's. Y'all the reason the game's dead. Dash, Shotzzy. Like, bro, ain't saying that shit. Like, bro. Ain't saying that shit. Ant was right, bro. Ant was right.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, what do you think is going wrong?
What do I think is going on?
Yeah,
I haven't really watched. Like, you guys are just getting like pissed on.
Yeah.
No, I'm trolling. You want the real answer? Honestly, I haven't really watched. I feel like you guys are in a slump, and like you guys aren't, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the right word. Like, you guys, like, aren't, like, trying to get out of it in the right way. I'm not sure how you guys. Oh my god, you shot them. But holy, I don't know how you guys are trying to, like, get out of it, but, like, whatever way you guys are trying to do it, like, it's not working. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
like, you guys, like, need to, like, figure it out, talk as a team.
Yeah, why is Yoda spinning?
Figure out what the actual, like,
What did he turn into Darth Vader? What the fuck was...
I thought this was a funny clip as well between Shotzzy and Illy. You know, it was an entertaining stream for sure. I know that people will say that, oh, like, Shotzzy, what are you laughing about, right? You guys are terrible. But as we've said over the last few days, and Dashy's in the same position, like, if you don't laugh, you'll cry, I think, in a lot of these circumstances for OpTic. But even then, like, I get it. At the end of the day, there's really nothing that Shotzzy or the team can say or do right now that they're not going to get clowned for. Because it just doesn't matter what they do. If you've lost all these maps in a row, people are going to roast you. It is what it is. The solution is to start winning again, and this weekend they play Thieves. So, you know, initially anyway, good luck with that. So very much interested in your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.